Hey guys, Ash here again at Flight Sim Reviews, and today we're going to take a look at PMDG's MD11's manuals and other paperwork that comes with this payware add-on aircraft. Of course, PMDG is an acronym for Precision Manuals Development Group, so you would expect that their manuals are pretty good, and they certainly do not disappoint. So you'll be able to find your manuals once you get this product, if you choose to purchase it, under your MS-FSX folder, PMDG MD11, and then under the operating manuals folder. So first, let's go ahead and look at the introduction. They are all Adobe Acrobat files, so they are all easy to read. They are unlocked PDFs, therefore you can copy them, move them, print them, etc. You can do what you want with them. You would need the full version of Adobe to edit something in them, though I don't know why you would want to. So this is just a simple pilot introduction, introducing you to the team that made this aircraft, some of the customization options, just a very, very general overview of how to get into different settings, whether it's turning down the detail on the MFDs or adjusting the sound volume, etc. And just going through some of the menu options if you want to load a panel state, etc. So that's a pretty simple overview there. Great tutorial. I cannot say that enough, if you can't tell. This really will get you up and running with the MD11. It's not the most complex aircraft out there, and it does automate a lot of the standard work for a flight crew, but it is not that easy to come to terms with, since it is all automated. Some of the features you may be looking for to adjust, etc., don't exist because the computers are doing the work for you. So this is the sample flight, and it's a full tutorial between London Heathrow and Zurich, which was an old Swiss Air route for this aircraft. So it shows you how to go ahead and use your load manager, calculating your CG. Again, PMDG's FMC always does all that automatically on the fly, so you can use the load manager numbers it's giving you, but you don't need to copy them down with like some other payware aircraft. From everything from pre-flight, startup, IRS aligning, the full FMC tutorial, everything from how to run your multifunction displays, your transponder, barometric pressure, dial a flap, seatbelt lights, external lights, engine starting. It even gives you a nice terminal map here on how to find your runway on the tutorial flight. As you can see, it's very, very in-depth. There are a lot of tutorials I've done from other companies that seem to leave you wondering. They get between point A and point B, but you're kind of wondering about some of the aircraft systems still, and sometimes you have to delve down into the forums or YouTube videos. This is not the case with this tutorial. It is just absolutely a fantastic tutorial, and it explains almost every capability of the aircraft within 35 pages. It's pretty amazing. So that gives you a good look at that. Here's your checklist for the aircraft. Cockpit prep, before start, after start, taxi, before takeoff, after takeoff, etc. These are your full-on aircraft checklists. It's interesting to note that PMDG does use a lot of the actual checklists from the actual POH and operating manuals of the real aircraft. So a lot of it's actually interchangeable with the real aircraft, and so that's just the level of accuracy that PMDG gets. It's pretty amazing. We'll go ahead and go back. Look at the FCOM manual for the flight crew operations, and it's 436 pages. Just a lot of alerts, how to deal with emergencies. Here's your limitations of the aircraft, wind shear detection, all your graphs for CG, takeoff lengths. I mean, it's really all in here, guys. If it's not in here, it doesn't exist on the aircraft, literally. I mean, I do have a real MD11 manual personally, and 99% of it's within PMDG's documentation. I mean, it is really, really amazing. So, just giving you a look through that. just all kinds of how to deal with different emergencies, how to, for example, here's your hydraulics system, how to deal with different failures, how to run it, what the emergency is indicating, etc. So that's a good look at that. Here's your FMS manual. We'll go ahead and zoom out there. I'd like to point out to PMDG, you can buy all of their manuals already bound in notebooks and spiral bound. They are really worth it if you have the extra coin laying around. If not, there's nothing you're missing out by not buying them, but it is nice just to have them ready to go when you're in the simulator without having to print out hundreds of pages. They are already organized and bound correctly. So this is just pretty much FMC procedures and initializing the navigation system, going deeper into the FMC's programming, how you would program it. If you want to do custom waypoints, etc. into it, it's all capable of that. This is just a really good overview of that. Moving on, here's your quick reference handbook. 220 pages. Again, like I said, they live up to their name. This is just all kinds of emergencies and reactions. So right here, air, man, F fail, land at nearest suitable airport. It indicates an oral warning will sound when this happens. Associated throttle idle. When alert is no longer displayed, operate associated engine at thrust level that will keep alert from being displayed. Land at nearest suitable airport. Do not repressurize affected air system. So everything you can imagine, all your warnings, etc., are really, really spelled out here. So just thought I'd show you that. And moving on to systems. This is a 534-page manual. So this is just a really in-depth look at the systems of the MD11. So let's go ahead and look at the APU. How it works, the warnings, the schematics on the panel. There's typically schematics for the actual wiring in the aircraft. PMDG includes. There's all kinds of, like this, here's your actual pneumatic supply for your APU that is in the aircraft. Let me zoom in just a little bit. So this is literally showing you how it's set up valve-wise and duct-wise in the aircraft. I mean, I have to admit, there's not a lot of add-on aircraft people that would give you a schematic of how that exact system works, so you get a really good overview and idea functionally how it works and where the problem exists. Is it necessary to fly the aircraft? Of course not, but for those of us that love these aircraft and fly flight simulators and pay big dollars for a payware add-on aircraft, it's just a really nice touch that they've gone through and done all this with these manuals. So that's pretty much it. That is the manuals that are included with this payware product. I hope you stay tuned for more flight sim reviews, and the next review I'll be doing is just a final look at the MD11, final scoring, and I hope to see you then. Thanks again.